With its dry and arid climate, the state of Arizona in the USA has an environment that is particularly sensitive to change. The speed of growth of Arizona's metropolitan areas in recent years has put added pressure on the desert's already strained resources. None more than water. The question for state representatives has long been how to attract business to operate in such an environment, while at the same time ensuring the area's resources and ecology were not put under even more pressure.
One of the reasons it's so important to protect the environment here in Phoenix is we have a very different climate here. So we have problems with air quality and dust. There's a scarcity of water. We have a lot of issues with transportation and traffic congestion and certain industrial pollution that we have to be concerned about.
Cities like Chandler draw heavily on the scarce water supplies of the surrounding desert. Its population has grown steadily over the past 3 decades, from 30,000 in 1980 to over 240,000 in 2007. Growing concerns about groundwater quality and quantity means businesses here were left with little choice but to work with the state authorities to find ways of reducing water usage. Intel, a leading producer of microchips, computing and communications products, is one of the largest companies in the region. Built in 2007, its Fab 32 plant is based in Chandler and employs 1,500 people. In 1998, the company formed a partnership with the city of Chandler to find ways of using innovative technology to help address the growing water problem. Today, the plant recycles 76% of its water used in the production process, all of which is used on the surrounding environment and within Chandler itself. Surrounding farmlands use the recycled water from the Intel plant, reducing the need to draw on depleted groundwater reserves.
It's really important to be a good steward of energy and water and waste because the community expects it. We sit on about 700 acres here in Chandler, Arizona, and we're an integral part of the growth in this region. It's a very growing economy, and it's important for us to play our part and not to be a negative impact on the environment, but a positive impact on the environment.
Intel went about transforming the way the plant works by setting aggressive water conservation goals. It developed a system to re-inject clean water back into the aquifer or groundwater deposits.
We built a wastewater treatment plant for the city of Chandler for them to operate. We take water from the city, we reuse it here on site in our manufacturing process, as well as all the industrial processes and all the irrigation and landscaping you see, and then we send it back to this wastewater treatment plant that we help build. It re-injects the water back into the aquifer to recharge the local water supply.
Intel's efforts for sustainable resource management are not just limited to water. Half of the energy used in the plant, and in fact all of Intel's US operations, comes from green power sources, making Intel the largest purchaser of green energy credits in the US. The achievements have not gone unnoticed, and in 2007, the Intel plant in Chandler was awarded the Water Efficiency Leader Award by the US Environmental Protection Agency. And Intel has been voted at the top of the EPA's latest Green Power Partners list, all of which has been warmly greeted by the residents of Chandler.
Intel has come in and given, and they never stop their research. So the ability to accomplish more things, and in the saving of water and the use of water has been phenomenal, and we are eternally grateful.
The achievements in Arizona have meant Intel is now transferring its green work ethic elsewhere within the business. Over the last 7 years, the company has invested over $20 million in more than 250 energy conservation projects. Through these projects, it has saved in excess of 500 million kilowatt hours, enough energy to power about 50,000 US homes. In the last decade, Intel's Chandler facility has recycled more than 57 tons of solid waste. This is estimated to have saved approximately 3,000 trees or 48 acres of forest, 700,000 gallons of water, and 1.2 million kilowatts of energy. The revenues generated from this recycling program have been used to fund Intel's Health and Wellness Center, used by employees. Intel aims to reduce energy consumption in its manufacturing operations by 4% each year, which combined with its green power purchases will reduce CO2 emissions by 20% by 2012.
Intel's approach is a real good one because, first of all, they're open. It's a very transparent process. They want to hear what people have to say. This is the real thing. They're not just acting like they're concerned. They really are.
Intel began as a company in 1972 with the launch of the Intel microprocessor, the invention that sparked the computer revolution. Continued growth within its field means more sites are needed around the world. With plans for the development of an even more sustainable plant in China to be built in the next 3 years, it would seem that Intel has found a commercial as well as ethical justification for pursuing an eco-friendly business model, proving that sustainable resource management is indeed possible and can make business sense as well as environmental sense.
When we look at the environment in business, I think it's clear that there will not be less but more focus going forward on good environmental practices and good business practices. In fact, if I had to predict, I'd say that 10 years from now, hopefully sooner, the two will simply be synonymous. We won't be talking about the environment anymore. We'll simply be talking about good business practices.